ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਹੈਗੇ, ਸਾਰੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ।
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ, ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ, ਮੈਂ ਸੁਪਾਲ ਜਾਲੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਦ ਲੇਟ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੂਕੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਕੋਨੇ 'ਚ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, ਬੜਾ ਨਿੱਘਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਮੈਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ, ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ। ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਕੁਛ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਗੈਸਟ, ਮੈਂ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਗੈਸਟ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਿ ਕੌਣ ਹੈਗਾ, ਕੀ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਹੈ। ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਵਾਚ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ, ਬੜੀ ਅਪਰਚੂਨਿਟੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਲੋਕ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਨੇ, ਬੜੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਇੰਨੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗ੍ਰੀਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। I was over the weekend somewhere in London, ਉੱਥੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਗੇਮਸ ਨਾ ਫਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਲਈ ਗੇਮਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ। I was invited and I went there as a guest and luckily ਉੱਥੇ ਦੋ ਨਾ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ, ਯੰਗ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਾਸ ਆਈਆਂ, ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਬੜੀ ਲਿਆਕਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਬੜੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟਫੁਲੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ। ਉਹ ਸੋ ਨਾਈਸ ਟੂ ਸੀ ਯੂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟੀ ਵੀ 'ਤੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਛਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੈਕਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਨਾ ਬੀਬੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਮਾਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਾਚ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਟਸ ਕੁਆਇਟ ਐਨਕਰੇਜਿੰਗ ਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਲੋਕ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਨੇ। ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਉਹ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਮਾਂ ਬੀਬੀ ਦਾ, ਗੁਰਦੇਵ ਕੌਰ ਹੇਅਰ, ਉਹਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਵਾਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਮੇਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੁਬਾਰਕਬਾਦ ਦੇਣਾ। ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਡਾਟਰ ਹੈ, ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਬੜਾ ਪਿਆਰਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮਹਿਸ਼ਿੰਦਰ ਕੌਰ। ਮਹਿਸ਼ਿੰਦਰ, ਹੋਪ ਆਮ ਪ੍ਰੋਨਾਉਂਸਿੰਗ ਇਟ ਰਾਈਟ। ਇਟਸ ਸੱਚ ਅਨਯੂਜੂਅਲ, ਸੱਚ ਅ ਬਿਊਟੀਫੁਲ ਨੇਮ। ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ। ਦੇਖੋ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਹ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਗੇਮ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, ਐਂਡ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਫੋਟੋ ਖਿਚਾ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਬੀਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਵਾਂਗੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ। ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਬੜਾ ਇਨਕਰੇਜਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਦਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਅੱਛੇ ਬੁਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ। ਐਂਡ ਸੇਮ ਟਾਈਮ ਇਹ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਕੈਮਟਰੀ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਟੂ ਮੀਟ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਯੂਨੀਅਨ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਬੜਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਕਲੱਬ ਹੈਗਾ। ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਪਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਚਾਨਾ, ਨਿਕਨੇਮ ਪਿੰਦੀ, ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਆਫ ਦੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਯੂਨੀਅਨ। ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਰੀਅਲੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਬੜਾ ਵਰਕ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਗੇਮ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਅਤੇ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਹੋਈ, ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਫॉर द ਹੌਸਪਿਟੈਲਿਟੀ। ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ, ਆਈ ਹੋਪਫੁਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਅਖੀਰ 'ਤੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਦੋਂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਈਅਰ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਕਿ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਹੋਪਫੁਲੀ ਐਕਸਕਲੂਸਿਵ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਵਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ। ਵੈਰੀ ਨਾਈਸ। ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਭੈਣ ਗੁਰਦੇਵ ਕੌਰ ਹੈਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਬਾਰਕਬਾਦ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਫਿਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਚੰਨੇ ਨੂੰ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਭਾਜੀ ਸੋ ਮਚ। ਇਟ ਵਾਜ਼ ਵੰਡਰਫੁਲ ਹੌਸਪਿਟੈਲਿਟੀ। ਚਲੋ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਯੂ ਫੀਲ ਨਾਈਸ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਲੋਕ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਅੱਛਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕ੍ਰਿਟਿਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਡੂ ਲੈਟ ਮੀ ਨੋ, ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ। ਆਈ ਟਰਾਈ ਟੂ ਇੰਪਰੂਵ ਉਹ ਕਰਾਂ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗੇਗਾ। ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ, ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੋ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ, ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ। ਐਂਡ ਅੱਗੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਦਾ। ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਹੈਗੇ, ਸਾਰੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਰਾਜ ਹੈਗਾ, ਰਾਜ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ
ਭਾਜੀ। ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੜੀ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਆਏ ਹੋ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਫॉर ਕਮਿੰਗ।
ਨਾ ਦੂਰ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਈਸਟ ਲੰਡਨ 1-2 ਘੰਟੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਸੀ।
1-2 ਯੂ ਸੀ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਵਾਟ ਇਟ ਇਜ਼। ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਮਿਲਣ ਤੋਂ ਆਓ ਕਿਤੋਂ ਹੋਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ 2 ਘੰਟੇ ਦਾ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੰਮਾ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਹੈ।
ਉਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਈਸਟ ਲੰਡਨ, ਬਸ ਤੋਂ 2 ਘੰਟੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਸੀ। I don't know why I think I just want to say thank you for Akaal Channel for inviting me today, and also to yourself as well. We've known each other for a while, but
yeah, Raj, is okay for me to call you Raj?
Call me Raj, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ। but ਮੇਰਾ ਫੁੱਲ ਨੇਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਰਜਿੰਦਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਥਾਓ।
Oh my God, ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ।
so ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਰਨ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, ਬਾਬਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕੁੰਦਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਨਾਨਕਸਰ, ਉਹ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਰਜਿੰਦਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਥਾਓ। ਮੈਂ ਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, but
ਨਹੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਤਿੰਨ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਨਾਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, 4 ਸਟੋਰੀ।
very long name,
very long name।
but ਰਾਜ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ।
Anyway, thanks for coming. ਬਹੁਤ interesting. ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ, ਟਾਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਚੈਟ ਸ਼ੋ ਹੈ, ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਲਾਈਕ ਚੈਟ ਸ਼ੋ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਬੰਦੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਐਨ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ। ਸਾਡੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਪੋਪੂਲਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਲੋਕ ਨਾ, ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਯੰਗ, ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਡਰਾਇੰਗ ਕਰਨੀ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜੁੱਤੀਆਂ ਪੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ, ਪੜ੍ਹੇਗਾ ਕੌਣ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਡਰਾਇੰਗ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਬੈਠ ਗਿਆ। ਯੂ ਸੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਯੂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਫਰਮ ਦ ਡਰਾਇੰਗ ਨਾ, ਸਕੂਲੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਸਕ੍ਰਿਬਲ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਣਾ, ਕੁਛ ਬਣਾ ਜਾਣਾ, ਪਰ ਵੀ ਡਿਡਨਟ ਹੈਵ ਅ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਐਜ਼ ਐਨ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। I didn't have the knowledge.
Yeah, look, ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ, easy tani. So the parents have a valid reason. You know, like they're all, you know, they want their children's lives to be easy. And being an artist is a difficult life because you have to love to do something that you know is very, very time consuming. So when I'm doing my drawings, I could take thousands of hours. Ikka drawing lay now, although I did a lot of Sikhi artwork, you know, mainstream artwork, some of them are as big as this wall and they're taking me 1,000 hours for one drawing. And so whether that, you know, you make the passe back or not, that's up to Waheguru, isn't it? So it's difficult. So but myself, you know, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਸੀਗਾ, I used to draw all the time. You know, ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ from the morning, ਰਾਤ ਤੱਕ. Yeah, when I used to go to school, all I did was draw as well.
ਮੇਰਾ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਰਾਜ, ਮੈਂ I dig ਕਿ ਨਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਡੀਸਿਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਾਇਰ ਬਣਦੇ ਹੋ, MP ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਬਣਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੋ, ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਬ੍ਰੇਨ ਐਮਟੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਕਲੀਨ ਸਲੇਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਟੋਟਲੀ. It's not filled for anything.
No.
ਸਮਝ ਗਏ ਨਾ?
ਉਹ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, you know, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be this, and you can be.
ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੇ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਡ੍ਰੀਮ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ let's start where were you born and
born in East London, a place called Whips Cross, ਉੱਥੇ ਸੀਗਾ Leighton. You know where the Olympics is on it. Olympics ਕੀਤਾ 10 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, yeah, Stratford ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ. So I was
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ, ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈ.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize ਉੱਥੇ ਹੈਗਾ. When I say Leighton, they don't know, but ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ Olympics, or you know, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ, yeah, ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈਗਾ. So from there, and then basically my family's lived it all my life. Basically, I'm in my 40s now, and ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ, you know, when I used to go to school, I did my, you know, what most people do in the Indian community or Appane community. I got my A-levels in art, but I also did law and government politics. Then I wanted to do a degree in engineering industrial design. That's basically was like a middle ground. You know, I told you draw, but I was also creating. So from there, then I went on to work at various fields. My last job I did was as a kitchen designer.
So all education took in East London?
No, South Bank University was my degree, and a place called East Ham College.
Degree for what?
Engineering industrial design.
ਅੱਛਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਹੈ?
Yeah, handy.
And how did you go into that field ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ?
Well, I wanted to still draw, but I wanted something that wasn't just about, because the art degree karna hai, it's very limiting. It's an art. So I thought, let me draw. So I was drawing, but I was designing. You know, I was designing products. So, you know, my final year design was a medical kind of device for back injuries. So I combined the two. Thoda ja draw karda si, but I was also designing, and it was something that, you know, I could get those skills and then use them in other places. So I learned how to use CAD, which is a computer-aided design. So I went on to be a kitchen designer as well. So the same skills I learned from that, I could put onto that. So it gave me a bit of more of a broader education.
But you know, at what age? ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ, ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੰਗ ਨੇ, ਯੂ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਡੂ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ. ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਆਮ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਕੈਪਚਰ ਦ ਵਰਲਡ, ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ, ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ, ਪਰ ਵਾਟ ਯੂ ਮੈਨੇਜ ਟੂ ਇਵੈਂਚੁਅਲੀ ਡਿਪੈਂਡਸ, ਬੜਾ ਲਿਮਿਟਡ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਬੜੀ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਬੜਾ ਹਾਰਡ ਵਰਕ ਹੈਗਾ. ਕੋਈ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਸੀਗਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ?
ਉਹ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ
ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ?
ਹਾਂ, ਮੇਰਾ ਭੈਣ ਡਰਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ, my brother, my mum can draw as well, Shikinder Kaur, ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ. So she can draw, so the family has had a lot of, let's just say, kind of artistic flair.
But
in the family.
They didn't take as a profession?
No. They did it as a hobby, and so they never really pushed it. And my brother's an IT manager. My family, she done work in different fields. So, you know, my mum could draw, you know, draw kardi flowers and stuff like that. So she was always artistic. So, you know, it was always something that I saw her doing. So, you know, I think
I'm going to go back a little bit. ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਭੈਣ ਗੁਰਦੇਵ ਕੌਰ ਖੇਰ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਬੜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਦਿੱਤੀ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਡਾਟਰ ਨੂੰ, ਮਹਿਸ਼ਿੰਦਰ ਨੂੰ, ਕਿ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਪੈਰੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ. ਯੂ ਨੋ ਇਟਸ ਡਜ਼ਨਟ ਹੈਪਨ, ਬਹੁਤ ਉਹ ਕਾਮਨ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ. ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਨਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਟੱਚ ਕਰਦਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਲ ਨੂੰ, ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਦਿਖਾਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਮਦਰ ਨੂੰ, ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ, ਐਂਡ ਸ਼ੀ ਟੁਕ ਅ ਫੋਟੋਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਵਿਦ ਟੂ ਸ਼ੋ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਮਦਰ. ਕਿੰਨਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ. ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਰੱਬ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੰਮੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇਵੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ. ਤੇ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਰਾਜ ਇਜ਼ ਵੈਰੀ 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 ਕਲੋਜ਼ ਟੂ ਹਿਜ਼ ਮਦਰ. I think she's your mentor, your idol, है ना?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm doing my mainstream artwork, which when I say mainstream, I mean non-Sikh artwork. When it comes to Sikh artwork, the religious, it's all done with my mother, Shikinder Kaur. So what we do is, you know, I'll say, Mum, what should I draw? So then she gives me ideas. Draw kar de, draw kar de. So say Chote Sahibzade, Chote Sahibzade didn't draw kar de. Then I'll do concepts, so sketches. Quickly and the khonda and she'll say no theek hai or theek nahi. Then I'll choose the one, then I'll do the drawing. Then I'm drawing karda. I'll ask her as I'm going along, theek hai? She'll say no theek nahi, change kar de, add kar de. So it's a very different process. Mainstream kalla karda. Yeah, 100%. I'm in my room, just do my work. When it comes to Sikhi, it's a collaboration. Asi do jane kar de. It's a very unique experience.
Personal experience and that's the way I feel, the way I've been brought up. Agar tu teri maa de naal haiga na, you're going to go very far. Trust me. You're going to go really far. Or the blessing de naal na, sky's the limit for you.
Well, the thing is, when I first started, my drawing kitta for like 12, 13 years, from 2000 to 2012. And my start kitta, and then I did a drawing of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. I did tasi for the local Gurdwara. I said, look, in 2014, because I'm going into a new profession, I thought, do a new drawing. At the time, my mum didn't really like the artwork, because almost samjh on the ki haga, like, this face or Spider-Man, idda. But then I dikhaya si, the Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the kasi, akka, totally lighted up, yeah. So I was like, okay, main karna fir ye sab, okay, so फिर मैं और कितना फिर later on around 20 or 30 drawings afterwards as well. हाँ जी.
लेकिन you were messing about when you were younger, drawing वगैरह करके. When did you sort of feel, at what age, this is something I want to do professionally?
I've always wanted to do it.
Right as long as you can remember.
As long as I remember drawing. I was always the best in my school. I was always the best in my class. I was best in the thingy when it comes to drawing, when I went to university, when I went to college. So I always knew this is something, I'm very good at. And so I wanted to do it. And then, life becomes real and you have to start really thinking, okay, is this possible? And, I had to kind of think to myself, should I just put all my eggs in one basket? Or saying, put all your eggs in one basket. I said, no, let me try and see if I could do other stuff at the same time. So I went into other stuff. It's only until 2012. I was a kitchen designer for like 7 years. And that job had a lot of paise, but I was not happy. It just wasn't happy. When you could do something. And so something happened and I left that job and I got a settlement. And then what happened from that, I thought, let me draw. Let me try and make this into a career. And this was like 2014 when I started.
But how did your mother family felt? Did you, okay, my time I didn't have a career advice. My advice, my father only said, son, I got the money, I can do parla. Doctor banja, kuch bhi banja, vakil banja, right? Because those two profession hunde si udo. And agar tusi, main us time te mere parents nu kehda ki main artist bana, mere jutiyan pehniyan si. They accept ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਸਪੈਂਡ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਭੇਜ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਹੀ ਬਣਨਾ why do we ਅਸੀਂ serious ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਤਾ profession?
It's a cultural thing. I've had this discussion a lot with people about how the West and the East sees art. So the West, if I was to ask, say, any Western person in Europe, name me 10 people that have changed say Europe or the world, and there would maybe at least say one artist, Leonardo da Vinci. There's all both the cathedrals. He was an architect. He was a thingy. He was a sculptor. But when you ask apne, it would never be an artist. In fact, when I look at India's art in terms of thousands, it's unbelievable. Okay, banaya with statues, and no one knows the artist. They can see the work. So there's a different perception about art in Asia, and it's still being brought over to the West. And I think Holi is changing. The next generation. I have a lot of, younger generation with their kids. Oh, I want him to be an artist. Look at what he's doing. And, why don't you teach art and stuff like this? So I think Holi changed karda, but it's a cultural hang-up in the Asian community, I think.
Jere poets hunde ne, jere writer hunde ne, they are known to be like a bit crazy. Some weird in the sense they work in a funny way.
Yeah.
They work in odd hours of the night or the morning. Jado koi khayal aa janda na, they start writing, they start doing it, right? Thoda is tarah kidna hai? Something you want to do, do you plan it or something comes to your mind, you start?
Yeah, I have it all the time. Like, I might be sleeping, I've got an idea in my head. And I'll just get up and scribble it down.
That's what I mean. You get up at the same time. Really?
So, one of the things people don't realize is between the hours of 10 baje in the morning until around 6, 7 is the best time to create. Yeah, best time to create. So I tend to draw best at that time. And a lot of writers say the same thing. And even jade part karna, they say swere karde, yeah, in the morning, yeah. And so in that time frame, I think this is what a lot of artists have, a bit of a weird way of looking at the world, a little bit different, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. So I have done something, just as a thanks to yourself. I've done your portrait, and
oh my God!
yeah,
Oh my God!
We have got the tie on it.
I'm wearing the same one actually.
Yeah, you're wearing the same one.
Oh my
so
God.
yeah, I just want to say thank you to yourself, and it's just a portrait I've done for you.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you can hang it somewhere nice. And
No, thank you. This is the first time somebody actually made a portrait बनाई है यार.
yeah, I
So-
mean, I think to myself, what can I do a little bit different for yourself for the show? And I do black and white mainly, but I've gone on to color as well. So this is your one. It didn't really take too long, to be honest. I've done so many pagga, the stars and dania. This is so normal for me. So do you want to take it, or should I put it back over there?
Lovely, yeah. Thank you so much. I don't know, कभी भी it's so lovely. Thank you. कितना time लगा तो
That one didn't take too long, maybe 15, 20 hours.
Really?
Yeah, so it's not overly time consuming. Certain things, it's like anything. If you do something repetitively, you end up being able to kind of do it pretty simply. So it didn't take too long, no. And hopefully you like it. That's the main
No, what? I feel embarrassed because never ever been done. I surprise and I'm like kind of a shock now, thinking, well, oh my God, do I deserve this?
Well, if I come back, I'll do a color one because my color karta hona as well. So
अच्छा तुसी color भी कर लेने सारा.
Yeah, पहला मैं black and white करता सी exclusively, and then एक साल पहला I started experimenting color, and there's certain drawings that I've always wanted to draw Harminder Sahib. And I've done it in black and white, and it just doesn't look right. So there's certain things I wanted to do that I couldn't, and so I've got into colour as well, holy, and I've done a drawing on the Kisan situation that I did, the Kisan, the protest that was going on.
अब थोड़ी गल्ला करते हैं, बात थोड़ी हॉट फोटो दिखावांगे पिक्चर वगैरह बहुत अच्छे तुसी कीतियां ने मनु सारियां दिखाईयां सी लेकिन ए मनु नहीं से दिखाई बड़ी सरप्राइज देती है. Thank you so much. ਜਦੋਂ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ I think it's a talent really. You're gifted. It's not something you learn. ਹੌਲੀ okay with the practice ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਮਾਸਟਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਟੈਲੈਂਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਚਪਨ ਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਅੰਦਰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ. in fact how I believe ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਟੈਲੈਂਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes just stays there ਕਿਉਂਕਿ opportunity ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੀ. Yeah, everybody got some. ਰੱਬ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਟੈਲੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਭੇਜਦਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ. whether it comes out execute ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ. the reason I'm saying all this is you went through a bad time. ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ. If you don't mind, अगर ਤੁਸੀਂ embarrassed नहीं feel करते would be nice.
No. I mean, I think it's good to highlight, when you've got depression or you're sad. And that, it's good for people to talk about it because...
But important, पता की हैगा? अगर तुसी bad times गए हो ना, you have come out of it.
Yeah.
Then you can talk about it.
Yeah, and I've really come out of it. I mean, I very rarely get depressed now. Why would I always think to myself, I've got my drawing. So ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹਾ ਦੁਖੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ I'll draw, and that lets me escape. And so I've got that. So other people haven't got that. And so, we have a lot of issues with depression and people with mental health issues. And, up in there, they do this, they do that to try and cover it. And for me, I've managed to be able to get through it. And it is something that, it's got a lot of stigma. When you talk about it, people don't want to talk about it because, it's a little bit embarrassing. But, a lot of people go through this.
But the reason I would prefer you to talk about it, क्यों the मतलब होता है ना, I'm not nosy, but I'm like host हैगा, मैं question करदा हूँ. मेरा होता है कि मैंने ना उन्होंने निचोड़ करना why, where and how. Yeah. ਜਦੋਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਡਾਊਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ clean slate ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨਾ then very proudly you can talk about it.
Yeah. In the time it's difficult. So
at the time,
look, I love to draw. ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਸੀਗਾ I used to draw all the time. When I was thinking then for 12 years ਮੈਂ draw ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ. From 2000 to 2000 I didn't draw anything. After work I was working as a kitchen designer. I was doing so many other things. I just didn't have time. And so ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਘਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਥੱਕ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, so I used to go to sleep. And my kind of mental health is linked to my art. It's like therapy whenever I'm drawing. So when I didn't draw, I was earning good money, I was in a good job, But I just wasn't happy. Every time I sit there, you know, you did a computer, I used to use computer to design kitchens. And every time I'd sit there, I look in my hands, I'm like, what am I doing? You know, I should be an artist. So, you know, when you have unfulfilled dreams, dukhi karda tanu. You know, when you like someone knows they can sing.
You're not happy with your
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it. Outside, it looks good. I was my passable on that. He had a good job. You know, I got a degree. I made a damag, which I knew I could do something that I can do and make a difference, which is not many people can do.
Did you go like what's the depression was?
Yeah, it was depression. Yes. Thoda ja pinda si, I haven't drank for 10 saal ho gaya hun. And so,
when,
you know,
when that happened, you were the low of the lows at that time.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
because you ended up in the bad company, or were you weak facing the world?
I think I'm pretty strong character-wise. Look, the thing is, a lot of people ask me, and this could sound quite controversial, oh, today, they'll say, you know, how did you get out of it? I said, look, I just stopped hanging around with certain people, innit? You know, they normally just people that you have bad company in a way. So for me, I like to be by myself, kalla. So I'm not saying I've got no friends, but the friends I have now are very selective. People that I know just accept me for who I am, and they're not going to just phone me up for tamasha or something silly. So I had to be very strict with myself and say, look, your company also affects how you behave as well. No matter how strong you are, if your friends around you are idda karde, you're going to do like that as well at some point. Yeah, so I have been very strict, and I've been like, okay, I've got no problem with people. So anyone else on there, I've got no issue, no. But it's my lifestyle is totally different. You know, my lifestyle is quite boring when you look at it. My sara din draw karda, that's my profession. This is what I do. And this is my kushiyaga in that kind of life. It seems boring from outside, but it's something that I like, and I've done the other thing, and it's not for me.
Man, I've got you here to inspire you, because what you are today, and to what you've been through as well, it's not easily done. You must have somebody in your life to say, that was a pillar for me, that was a support for me. Kalla banda nahi kar sakda. Okay, teri khud hi himmat, teri willpower honi chahiye. But there did be little push as well, na? Did you have any of that?
I did have a look. You know, sometimes, you know, dukhi honda. When I was in my last job, I had some problems. And so I had a settlement. You know, settlement, I can't talk about it for legal reasons, but I had a settlement. And Waheguru di Kripa, I had a bit of paise. And so I left, and I had to make a choice. Okay, do I do the same thing, or do I try and do something that I love to do? And I said, okay, I'm going to try it, innit? And let me just try. You know, if it works, it works. If not, I've got something to go back on. And luckily, Waheguru di Kripa, it's working, you know, or Tigaga. So sometimes you have to, I say, kind of like, you know, push yourself over that next level, because it is hard. It's very difficult for people to want to live their dream. I do feel I'm living my dream, you know, to you know, live your life as an artist, and to be able to have that as a profession, and also something you love to do as a hobby, is something that, you know, it's hard for people to really combine, you know. So I'm very grateful that, you know.
How long did it take to you to come out of this?
I think once I started drawing again, it was very quick. So I started drawing in 2012. It was 12 years I didn't draw. As soon as I started drawing, I could feel myself getting better. Yeah, because my drawing, when I'm drawing, I can just relax. Like I always say to people, if I'm drawing, even if the world outside is mayhem, I'm in a zone. I don't know what's going on. So that's good for your mental health. If you can kind of, what I call
control yourself.
You know, like put yourself in a box and be able to put the outside world out. You know, kuch honda bahar, family or whether it's work, I think, you know, it's, you know, bahut stress kar data. Yeah, and so being able to have that outlet is good for me. Yeah, some people have to use other things, unfortunately, and I don't want to go into it, which is wrong, you know, because they don't feel like they've got anything else. You know, they'll go down the wrong path. And so I hope people that see with myself, you know, you can get out of these situations. It takes a lot of willpower, unfortunately.
No, but a lot of times, Raj, it's easily said than done.
Yeah, it's very, I agree. At the time, Jetusi, Dasia Mano, like 14 years ago, I'll be here talking about being an artist. I'll say impossible.
Impossible, exactly.
Yeah, I'll say, you know, what are you talking about? So it can happen. So even when you're talking about, you know, just bache de gal karda si about they want to be astronauts, let them want to be what they want. Don't destroy their dream. They can they astronaut, you know, they want to be an astronaut. Because there are astronauts out there. If someone wants to be the prime minister, maybe they can.
Those people are like you and me.
Yeah,
Simple as
they're
that.
all human beings. So
Achha, this must have taken you 4 or 5 years when you went down and coming back again.
yeah, it took a long time for me to start drawing again and getting practice. My original drawings, because it's like riding a bike. I didn't draw them for a long time, so it was very bad. I look at them to remind myself how much I've improved, and so when I first started drawing, it took a long time. So now, as I push through that, once you get into the swing, it's just like second nature.
But Raj, time very fast जा रहा है. We have to have a break very shortly.
Yeah, ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਧਾ down ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, it's not your choice. You want to be like that, but it happened that way.
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
It's not only you suffering; it's your family suffering as well, especially your mother.
Yeah,
How much pain she must have gone through that time.
Yeah, and this is, my mum's the most supportive person. This is why ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ artwork ਕਰਦਾ, and I can see how much ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ. Yeah, this is why I did it as well in a way, because I wanted to give back to my mum as well. One way you can do that is to do something that she loves as well, and for her to help me is very unique privilege for me.
Thank you so much. ਬੜੀ ਫਾਸਟ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ, ਬੜੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ. ਇੰਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ. ਦੇਖੋ ਬੰਦਾ ਕਈ ਦਫਾ ਡਾਊਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਯੂ ਥਿੰਕ ਦੈਟਸ ਇਟ, ਡੈਡ ਐਂਡ ਆ ਗਿਆ. ਡੈਡ ਐਂਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੜੇ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਕਮ ਆਊਟ ਆਫ ਦਿਸ. ਇਟਸ ਨਾਟ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਐਂਡ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ. ਅਸੀਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ, ਹੁਣੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਵਾਂਗੇ. ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ. ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ, ਆਪਣਾ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਦਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਰੋ. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੈਡ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ. ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਜਾਰੀ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੇ. ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਡੋਂਟ ਗੋ ਟੂ ਫਾਰ. ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ. ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ. ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ. ਵੈਲਕਮ ਬੈਕ ਇਨ ਦ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਪਾਰਟ. ਹੁਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਊਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਬਸ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ, ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ. ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਐਨ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਲਾਈਵਲੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੈ, ਡੂਇੰਗ ਵੰਡਰਫੁਲ. ਇੰਨਾ ਵੰਡਰਫੁਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਚੈਨਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਹੈਡ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦਾ. ਹੀ ਡਜ਼ਨਟ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਆਸਕ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵੋ. ਵੀ ਇਨਵਾਈਟਡ ਹਿਮ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਇਟਸ ਸਮਥਿੰਗ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇੰਸਪਾਇਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਔਰ ਹੋਪਫੁਲੀ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਇੰਸਪਾਇਰ ਹੋਗੇ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਮੁਸੀਬਤ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ ਬੰਦਾ. ਐਂਡ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਜੋ ਹੁਣ ਆਰਟ ਵਰਕ ਕਰਦਾ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਏ ਨੇ. ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਇੱਕ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਦੇਖ ਲਈਏ.
Yeah, I'll go through ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਪਿਕਚਰ
ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇਖ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਮੈਂ ਸੁਖਦੇਵ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗ ਦਿਖਾਵੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਦੇ.
Yeah, I ਹੈਗਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਦਲੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ. ਉਹ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪੁਰਾਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ, but I wanted to show it because one of the first ones I did that I was very proud of. Obviously, Maharaja Dalip Singh was Maharaja Dalip Singh's son, and so when I done that picture, I remember, when you finish something, and I was like, oh, I'm actually pretty good. Before that, I was still doubting myself.
ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਸੁਖਦੇਵ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਫਿਰ ਦਿਖਾਉਂਗੇ ਪਲੀਜ਼. ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ ਐਂਡ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਦਾੜੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ, ਕਿੰਨਾ ਬਰੀਕੀ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈਗਾ. ਮਸਟ ਹੈਵ ਟੇਕਨ ਯੂ ਲੌਂਗ ਟਾਈਮ ਟੂ ਡੂ ਦੈਟ.
Yeah.
Look at that ਦਸਤਾਰ ਵੱਲ ਦੇਖੋ, ਕਿਆ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤ.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I'm proud of it, because this was done in 2013, so ਇੱਕ ਸਾਲ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂ draw ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ. But I started, so when I finished this one, it was one of those drawings ਮੈਂ ਖਤਮ ਕੀਤਾ. I said, okay, Raj, you can still draw. Because I had doubts, right? And so some drawings give you that confidence. So ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ, I said, wow, even the beads are nice. Dari theek hai. And it was a drawing that, obviously is of a photo. So I copied it, but it was just something that gave me that confidence that. So whenever I look at this picture, it has a meaning to it behind it, not just about a drawing. But it.
Raj, ek baat sorry, bada sawal puchda, because there's something I'll tell you why I'm asking you that. ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ drawing ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, are you very confident? I know I can do it. Or sometimes you surprise yourself, oh my God, I think I've done such a better thing. I didn't expect that to happen. How do you normally feel ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ finish ਹੁੰਦਾ products?
All right, so one way I've described drawing is so people can understand, because I think ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ draw ਕਰਦੇ, it's easy ਕੰਮ ਹੈਗਾ. You love to do it because it's a hobby, must be easy. It's like, I'm bodybuilder. ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ bodybuilding ਕਰਦਾ gym 'ਚ, it's difficult. Yeah, the training. That's like drawing. But when you see the finished product, like when they're showing their muscles, you feel cushy because you've done it. So you have to always think of the end goal. So ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ draw ਕਰਦਾ, I always have an end image to push me through it. When I'm drawing, I'm doubting myself all the time. ਮੈਂ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ. There's been drawings that are nearly.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, there's been lots of drawings I didn't think I could finish. ਇੱਕ drawing ਇੱਕ ਸਾਲ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਸੀ. I don't want to show it because it's controversial. It's about something that's controversial, and it's not Sikhi, but it was such a big drawing. It took me a long time, and I almost chucked it in the bin.
Took you a year?
Yeah, it took over a year.
Oh my God.
It was just a drawing that was very big, very complicated. So, but when I finished it, I look at it and I go, okay, I did it. Yeah, although a lot of difficult. So every drawing you feel doubt, yeah, and that's what pushes you. Once you get to the point you think you can do everything, you're never going to improve. I've got a lot more improvement to do.
Next we can talk about that. This one.
Okay, this is one of my favorite ones. It's the first Sikh art or Sikh related artwork I've done in colour. And so basically this was about the Kisan. And so, you know, the protest.
But there are a lot of things you have gone
Yeah,
through.
so if you just leave this out for a second. So this is all from my imagination, apart from the left side with the policeman, Jeo Kurda, you know, the Sardarji, you know. And that picture was iconic. So what I want to do, in the middle chair, you have the Babba, he's representing the farmers. And the chains are the chains of India, the government. Yeah, you know, they all, you know, pass karda law. And on TV, you have Langar. So I wanted to show how Langar, even though the policemen were attacking the farmers, the Sikhs were still feeding the police.
The police.
And there's pictures of it, but I changed it a bit and actually put the person with the stick sitting there eating Langar. So that's one of the drawings I'm actually going to do a second one of, where the chains are broken. Because obviously the farmers actually did win, and it shows that, you know, the people power. I see, like, was it Iksali, and they managed to repeal the law. So that's one of the first colour artworks I've done in like an actual project. So I'm doing a lot more, hopefully.
Yeah, Jada Tusi Raj Baker, I'm just trying to imagine. You start telling mind Jada Tusi around the higher farmers. It's a big one. There's a lot of people and a lot of things as well. Article again, Kali cheese no Tusi no paint kita no art de which like form de which. Jada Tusi, suppose you start 8 to 7 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you're going to miss the day till the evening. You're still doing it.
Often Sonda fe 8 baje, 7 baje, 8 baje swere. I work at night. So
really?
Because look, a lot of people that are creative have said the same thing. Writers, people that are poets. A lot of people write or draw at night. Also, part kar de swere. Like, my best time to draw is between 3 and 6, 7 o'clock. So it is quite an antisocial life in a way, but that time I can do a lot more. And most of my creative ideas tend to come at night. So I have to get up and quickly draw something, or I have to quickly just, you know, stop what I'm doing and quickly scribble down the concept. So when I had that idea, I had it fully in my head. Middle, chains, this, I had the full picture.
But yeah, your mind is not kalla. It's okay, I'm not saying it's easy. Tusi kisi bande nu uthake oda tusi art banane odi. Because it's sitting in front of you, or the picture is in front of you. Tusi kalla picture dekh ki hai tusi wo kari ja rahe ho. But having just in the mind and then drawing it.
This is where the difference is. There's a lot of artists or draw kar sakde, but I haven't got good imagination. Me, I don't think I'm the best drawer at drawing, but I've got a very good imagination. My imagination is like everywhere. Like, you know, I can really, really think of something, have the image, I can just quickly draw it down, and then I have a fully fledged image. Same with there's drawing of Battle of Sarangari. I don't know if you want to show that of the Sikh soldiers. That was from, I don't know if you know the story of Battle of Sarangari.
This one, huh?
Yeah, Ahi. Yeah, so this is also from my imagination as well. So basically, it's the story of 21 Sikhs.
Looking at the first one and then going right till the end.
Yeah.
Or kalle face dikhai de rahe.
And Pichevi, that's the actual mountain because basically they were on a mountain or a high hill where there was 21 Sikh soldiers against 10,000 Afghan Pathans in 1897. And so they all passed away, but ended up fighting to the death, but they also held back and actually, in a way, won that battle because if they weren't there, they basically lost that. They all died, but they managed to defeat the oncoming hordes and stuff like that. So that drawing was actually to commemorate I think it was the 100th anniversary or 120th anniversary that I did. And I think they gave a copy of it to Sandhurst Military Academy.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't, but I was given a picture that they did. So yeah, so hopefully it's up there.
But every face is different.
Yeah, because obviously each banda sings or tale, but we didn't have their photos. I had a kind of a very blurred out picture, so I had to take some kind of like inspiration. So I didn't copy anyone's face, I just made the faces up. So no one can say, to see copy guitar or their face. Yeah, this was from the internet. So all the faces are just from my imagination. Same with the Babba in the colour one, that's not a real person. I just made the face up because then it causes problem copyright. Also causes problems, Baba Dekya, or this is me. And then you're going to have problems because I've not asked his permission. So you have to have a good imagination in terms of trying to kind of like, create what you need to do.
But ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ imagination ਨਾਲ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੈ, it must look like someone somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. But I can say, from my heart, Sachi Gal, it's not you.
It's not you.
Because I know it's not. So, sometimes I might draw something, it looks like somebody. But if I know, Sachi Gal, I didn't draw you, I'm not lying to them. So, I prefer it that way as well. It's just easier for me as an artist. As you know about copyrights and how things are in the internet right now, anything can get out of control if you don't think forwards like that.
I don't know if there's some more pictures that we can talk
Yeah,
about.
I think the drawing, the Khanda drawing, because
That
this
one.
this drawing is the drawing that even if people don't know who I am, I've seen it in some of the most random places. Ek bari main internet te gaya si Amazon, and otte se gaya on a watch in India, or sell
Really?
karde si for £30 or 300 rupees. I've seen it everywhere. Like my local kabaddi team, they got it on their design of the back. I never tell anyone I made a drawing. But that drawing I did when I was like 18 years old. But I've seen it everywhere. It's one of the drawings that get.
I think that will go very well behind the jacket.
Yeah, it's on jackets. I've had someone do it on a tattoo on the back of the picture. Sara picture.
Really?
Yeah, in America. So that's the one drawing that, when I meet people and I say I'm an artist, and they say, what do you draw? I always just show that. I say, look, this drawing here. So this drawing is gone very mainstream, but no one really knows that it's me that actually drew it unless they ask me. So, but I get kushi. Like, I never ask for money for it because the khanda is not mine. Yeah, the khanda is not mine. Like, I've done it, and so when I see people using it, kushi honda mainu.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I don't get upset. I just don't say nothing. I say, okay, yeah, this is nice, because you want your artwork to be seen and people to use it.
Hun, to see with your profession wise and your mental state, bagara, stability, bagara, where are you now?
I'm in a great place. I think, living your dream can be hard, and it can be something that, from the outside, people they know, oh, ki karda, this is not really a profession, but you have to ignore people and just do what you've got to do. Yeah.
The reason I'm laughing, but बड़ा अच्छा लग गया, पहला गाल करते सीगे, ਇਹਦੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਕੋ ਵੀ ਯਾਰ ਦੋਸਤ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ? ਮੈਂ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਹੈ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਕੰਮ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ?
ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਕੰਮ ਲਈ? ਮੈਂ freelance artist, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਫਿਰ? So it's still that stigma, isn't it? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ? And they can't get their head around it that,
this is my
this
job.
is a business, because I don't want to go into how I make, passive, but, I have a lot of different revenues that you have to use. And the internet the naan hone is very different. ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਸੀਗਾ, there was no internet, so being able to be a freelance artist was very difficult. Now people work from home all the time, so it's not so kind of like unusual. But in the past it was.
Day and age, I find that very funny. Honestly, I'm really. मैं कहना भी पहला, I'm going to laugh about this. कि तू आर्टिस्ट है, लेकिन तू काम की करता है. I find that so funny. Honestly.
Yeah, but it happens. It's not just me. I know the artists, inquisitive, or no, I know, like, lots of artists. They all have it, no matter how day they get. People still think it's a hobby. So if certain artists, I know Singh twins, and I don't know if it's happened to them, but a lot of artists, I'm assuming, on no when people come around, it's not. I don't feel upset, because I know it's cultural. They can't understand how you can do it. But I'll just say, I'll just laugh here.
But yeah, I think which we are far, like many other things, profession which is people here. And we have been more like a high-flying job, quick money, ਏਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. You don't want to go work for the British forces ਵਗੈਰਾ, ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਭੇਜਣਾ ਆਰਮੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. Those kind of delicate jobs, and ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ spoil them in a way. ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ, maybe this is the 4th, 5th, maybe the 6th generation here now. And ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਕਿਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, money making machine ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ. Yeah, ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, we never taken seriously, and we're still not taking it seriously.
Well, the thing is, you can't change things overnight, right? You have to sometimes play the game. The way I do is one person at a time. ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ, relatives, ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ, and I show my work, and they say, oh, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ? I can't believe it. So when you show the work, they're shocked, like, okay, you have got a talent, you are good at something, and that, this is something that you're paying your way through life with. And I'm not saying to, anybody else, like you shouldn't live your dreams, but, you should live your dreams, but always remember, living your dream, it takes a lot of hard work and determination. And from the outside, it doesn't look like hard work to them. You know, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ draw ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ draw ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਉੱਪਰ but I don't understand how much torture it is, how difficult it is to just sit there drawing. You know, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਕੀਤਾ the clothing, there was hundreds of lines. ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੀਤਾ and now you can't even see it. ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਦਿਖਾਇਆ ਸੀ ਇੱਥੇ I bet no one can see it, but ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ zoom in ਕੀਤਾ I done every line in your ਕੱਪੜੇ. And you know your ਕੱਪੜੇ have got thousands of lines. Yeah, all the patterns, yeah. But I, you know, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ I don't find it to be something that, you know, is a waste of time. I feel like, you know, if you're going to do something, changi tarah kar de, yeah, just do it properly, innit? Don't half-heartedly do anything. If you're going to do it, do 100% and go full force. And, you know, je edda kita fir I believe waheguru, you know, or reward karunga tannu. Yeah, you just have to be patient and, you know, and I hope, you know, kids are watching and stuff, you know, live your dream basically, you know. You can.
ਜਿਹੜੀ art ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ, even now, ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਚ hobby ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ. It hasn't gone any further than that. There are one or two exceptionally koi hoega, and I hardly know them. I thought janda siga from 3 years, and I thought I need to get you back again because to say channel te nahi I mere naam, and it's nice to show people that yeah, art bhi a profession hai.
Well, you know,
maybe it starts from a hobby, but it can take you to a different level.
Well, the thing is, I've kind of like, because of the way things are, I set up a group myself as well. And it's like a group of artists. And so one way to kind of like, you know, help as well is to, you know, like encourage artists, encourage each other. And we've got some Sikh artists in there. I think you've met them already. And, you know, hopefully next time they can come as well. They're quite well known as well. Role Jesters and D'Angela. And so, you know, they're with me as well. So, you know, artists need to support each other and stuff like that. And hopefully, you know, holy things will change, and you know one day, you know, when a kid says they want to be an artist, well, parents say, oh changa kam hega, you know, kar de fir, you know. So, you know, I think that's happening already because I see it a lot when I've taught kids classes and stuff. The parents seem to be very encouraging. So I think there's a shift, but it's going to take time.
How many years you've been doing this now, roughly?
So professionally I started in 2014.
14.
Yeah, so I was transitioned over. I had to practice again, so holy. Then I went into colour artwork now. So I've just been diverging, you know, colour, going into different colours. Right now, for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been concentrating on mainstream non-Sikh artwork, which has got nothing to do with religion or Sikh or anything. And that artwork is something that, you know, it's taken a lot of time. But in order to really make in the art field, you have to go to the mainstream as well. The Sikh artwork I do like, I don't want to say seva because it's not really seva, but I don't make money from it. But not nani. If anyone wants to use stuff, I let them. But it's something that I do because I love to do it. And with the mainstream, that's more to do with the business.
But yeah, I'm just trying to understand कि अपने लोग interest क्यों नहीं लेंदे. It's a lot of hard work and dedication again. It might be boring to look at and to do it as well. और जब कोई बंदा तुम मिले यार सारा दिन तू किथे बैठा रहना. You know, they always like negative तुम कहंदे ने हर चीज़ दे बीच. You know, थोड़ी ना जो तो तुसी किन्ने I don't know, sometimes ਹੁੰਦਾ कि तुसी यार you have not done enough paintings this month or last 6 months, and the other time you probably done more than you expected to do it. ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ low ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, what brings you out again?
You have to always just think that, you know, life has lows and highs. That's just the way life is. And sometimes when you're on your low, you don't think it's going to end, but I know it ends because ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ 12 years, 13 years ago, I'd be sitting here talking about being an artist.
Exactly.
I would have said impossible. You know, you're thinking it's like impossible, but it happened. It's happened, hasn't it? So I always think to myself, you know, thoda difficult hega. I might be in a difficult spot. I know things can change.
But you know, this is it. Hun tonu limelight dekhde log. The one who saw you for the first time. Did you just see the last 40 minutes, 45 minutes gal karke, your downfall and everything else, how you came out of this, you were lucky to come out of this, you could have been there.
Yeah, 100%.
They bड़ी inspiration हैगी है बहुत. आज तुसी बैठी because you will come on the other side of the tunnel, you can talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a drawing called End of the End of the Tunnel. And it's about depression. That my because it's not. And basically, I've done drawing on mental health. I've done drawing on a lot of things that, you know, obviously I don't want to show here because this is more of a religious, light-hearted kind of thing. But I've done these drawings, and although, you know, you've only heard me here, I've spoken about my journey quite openly because I want to inspire other people that, you know, going from Dukki and to show them, look, you know, it's not, you know, the end. Because at the time, you know, people think they get into this mode that, you know, nothing's going to change, but things change. You know, like I said myself, I can't believe where I am now. You know, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਮੈਂ kitchen designer ਸੀਗਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਬਣਾਉਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਬਸ ਉੱਥੇ you know looked happy but inside ਮੈਂ ਦੁਖੀ ਸੀਗਾ
ਜਦੋਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਰੈਡੀ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਚੈਰੀ ਰੱਖੀ ਹੈ ਬਿਊਟੀਫੁਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਜੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਬਟ ਯੂ ਡੋਨਟ ਨੋ ਦ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਗੋਨ ਬਿਹਾਈਂਡ ਇਟ nobody knows that ਨਾ when you were brave enough to talk about it when a picture ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੀ trouble ਚ ਗਏ ਹੋ you were really down and to pull out again you need courage, you need support, you need help.
Well, the thing is, look, like I said earlier, man, I'm lucky. I've got art. That is like something that distracts me, something that I love to do. I'm getting paid for it. And it's not something that everybody can have. So you have to kind of cater. So they can look at my journey and say, look, there is like an end to all of this. But my journey is not going to be the same as theirs. They're going to have to think of something else. Maybe it's their children that they need to concentrate on, or you know, the bigger picture, and not just about you know what's the small nuances. That's what happens. So with me myself personally, I just know I'm going to go bigger and badder in it, and just keep pushing and pushing. And the only person that's going to fail, if I ever fail, is because of me. Yeah, I can't blame no one. Either I put the hard work in and I make it, or I don't put the hard work in and I don't make it. And so I know that it's you know. When you start blaming other people for your problems, that's when you can't take no responsibility for why you're in the situation. Then you can never resolve it.
Over the years, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ draw ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ, there must be one or two, I don't know how many, which is a sentimental feeling to you even now. ਕੋਈ ਹੈ ਏਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼?
Yeah, I mean, my Guru Gobind Singh Ji drawing ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ to my local Gurdwara. Or ਪਹਿਲੀ drawing singer ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ okay so so that drawing has a lot of sentimental value to me and stuff like that. So there are drawings like my mum's portrait ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, so that's in my living room. I'm doing a colour version as well because like I said, I've moved on to colour and I'm going to do that. Can I just quickly so here's just a little
that's fine.
baby drawing. So that's what I'm saying. So when it comes to the colour and stuff, so I'm going to be moving more onto that, and hopefully that will kind of open up different avenues as well for me. So I'm actually, do you mind if I quickly just talk about a quick project that I might be doing in the future? So I'm going to be doing, I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's a project about 1984, and that's going to be coming up. I collaborated with the Sikh Lens, a guy called Biki Singh, and so we've got a big project coming up. So that's going to be in 2024, but it's going to be something amazing, hopefully, if it comes to fruition. And so, you know, I'm going to be doing lots of colour artworks to commemorate what happened there. So there are a lot of things in the pipeline that I'm kind of thinking of moving forwards myself.
But you know, I'm coming back to this again, the profession ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ. I'm just talking, I'm not asking you personal questions like ਮੁੰਡਾ young ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ, you know, ਮਾਂ ਸੋਚਦੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਹੈ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਕੰਮ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਡਿਫੀਕਲਟ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਮਤਲਬ to explain people. Because that's his profession.
The thing is, I've realised one thing. ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ drawings ਦਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਚੁੱਪ-ਚਾਪ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਫਿਰ. Because when you say ਮੈਂ artist, they go, oh, ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ? And then, you know, as soon as I show the drawings, oh, okay. Because they can see the detail. So they can see, ਦੇਖਦੇ ਮੇਰੇ drawings, they can see, okay, this is not something everyone can do. And so the first time they say it, next time you don't hear it. So I don't take offence to it. I just show the drawings and I don't, ਦੇਖੋ, and then they say, okay.
No, but I'm honored to see Mary Kitty. I feel so like emotional. Okay, to see, you know, like being no one.
Yeah, I thought, look, if I'm going to come to the Akaal channel and you to see invite Kita, I know I might as well do something different.
That will carry a lot of memories.
Yeah, hopefully, and it's got a lot of memories for me.
Of course it will carry very.
Even for myself, when I was drawing it as well, I thought, well, hopefully he likes it. You know, just every time when you're doing a drawing, you never know until you give it in person.
ਪਤਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਫੋਟੋ ਹੈ ਤੂੰ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸ਼ਕਲ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਤੇ ਆਣੀ ਹੈ.
Yeah, I know about
whether it's good shakal or bad shakal.
I know, but the problem is, I don't want to go to, but sometimes people don't.
एक बंदा मेरे बड़ी फनी का लग दिया वैसे. This is interesting. So मेरी फोटो पर यार मैंने चंगी नहीं लगी. Oh, this is you. This is.
I know, but some people don't want to see. They don't want to see themselves.
You can't make them. You can't make them look
prettier. No, but I have to say one thing, and this is a little bit thing. I realize over time, sometimes. Don't do everything too realistic because ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਵਾਰੀ ਪਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਪਾਇਆ ਵਿੱਚ sports everything, yeah. And then I realized, okay, sometimes I ask them ਪੁੱਛ ਲਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ, yeah, do you want it to be ultra realistic? Because I can go very realistic with everything.
ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ.
And I'll say, okay, do you want to? I don't, yeah, because some people don't want to see everything, so I have to be a bit careful. Luckily, your skin's clear, so all ਠੀਕ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ, yeah. You had no problems there, so it's very easy for me.
there's no hera fairy hai.
No hit of it. I didn't do nothing. Yeah, I was looking very close. Yeah, I was kushag. I was there, but I think I need to so he was okay. ठीक सीगा.
But you know, it's a fact ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਬੜੀ ਫਨੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਫੋਟੋ ਯਾਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ but you know you only feel embarrassed by your own picture. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not self-portrait नहीं कितना है जे. I should really do one at some point. Self-portrait of myself. I've not done that, but I'm going to be doing certain other portraits I want to do of like family and stuff and all this kind of stuff. So, it's the one thing I can give back to the family. जो their portrait कर सकते हैं family like this is something you can do without like something that is very special for them. Hopefully. Because not everyone can do it.
My opinion doesn't matter. मैं एक दफा फिर कैमरे से दिखा देना and जिन्हें भी मेरे viewers
to see everyone vote कर दे जे और मंगो लगदा
they can tell me
put it next to your face जे मंगो लगदा so
नहीं जिदा मैं शुरुआत दसिया ना बड़े लोग देखते ने बड़ा अच्छा इंटरेस्ट ना देखते ने some people make a point कि मेरा प्रोग्राम देखना अच्छा ना भी सपोर्ट कर देने कई दफ़ा प्रोग्राम अच्छा होंदा तां सपोर्ट कर देने कई दफ़ा मैं हैगा मैनू जान पहचाना करदे यार ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ there are different reasons why you support someone
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈਗਾ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਐਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਬੜੇ ਇਨਕਰੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ you want to do more
of course encouragement even something like thank you or just saying, well done. It can make a lot of difference to someone's day.
Raj, haven't got much time. Quickly, before I forget it, I want to look at the camera. There must be few people, especially like your mother. Mere wallo bhi thodi penji bahut you're very lucky to have a son like him. Jinu thank Allah tusi camera dekh ke keh sakde ho please.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank Akaal Channel.
Thank you,
yourself
sir. You're
as well.
welcome.
Really appreciate you inviting me. I do want to say thank you to my mum, Shikinder Kaur. Without her, I wouldn't be here, obviously.
Give her a wave, man.
And also, just the inspiration she gives me every day about, what to draw into the Sikh artwork and teaching me about my faith. When I'm doing my draw karda or dusty drawing, so, the story. So, thank you very much. And thank you to the family and everybody else who I know the Sikh community, the Sangat as well. Because they've supported us very, very much as well.
नहीं पता बड़ी फकर वाली गल है मां नू फैमिली नू सारे नू अगर कुछ अच्छा करदा पुत्र ऐसे करके बैठा नेशनल टीवी दे ऊपर otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, definitely. You have to give everything to your mum.
Isn't it?
Yeah, because you wouldn't be here without her. So, the least you can do is make her life a little bit easy. That's the main thing.
देखो एक गल्ला च ਅਸੀਂ आर्ट दी गल कीती है डिप्रेशन दी गल कीती है एकदम लो हो के बंदे ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਣਾ lot of things ਬੰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਘਰ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਇਹਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਚ ਗਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਸੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ
it's normal. One
it's
thing
normal.
Yeah,
the same life ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ
the thing is dukhi the sukhi. Like once you understand that life is ups and lows and one day you'll be up and then you'll be low, you have to just remember you have to take the lows and the highs and then life be a lot easier. And then you realize that if you can get to that stage which I am, things are much better.
Slightly out of the subject at the moment. मेरी मामी सी बेचारी God bless. मैं हमेशा ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਈ ਦਫਾ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦਾ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਨੂੰ ਛੂ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਗੱਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਂਗਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਇਸ ਹਵਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਲਾਈਕ ਅ ਕਲਾਉਡ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਬੋਡੀ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਟੇਕ ਯੂ ਓਵਰ
yeah consumes
ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਅੰਦਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣ ਦੇਣਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਤੇਰੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਆਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਉਣ ਨਾ ਦਿਓ ਯੂ ਬੀ ਹੈਪੀ ਪਰਸਨ
because once you
ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਚ ਪਾ ਲਓ ਨਾ that will really help you. Anyway, thank you so much. Time very fast ho gaya. Raj, thank you for coming.
Thank you as well.
I wish you luck. I wish you really, really luck, and I hope you're going to do really better. And not only for your family, for the community. Sari proud feel karegi, and the Akaal Channel is happy for you. Please support karo Akaal Channel next week same time te fir मुलाकात करेंगे. Before next Monday to कल सुबह 11 बजे डॉक्टर ना शो होगा डॉक्टर राज बैंस. Don't forget to tune that in. ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹੀਏ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮੰਗੇ ਚਲੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ